Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into your weekly dose of fantasy football. Now, originally, I wanted to combine the NFL and fantasy football weekly dose videos, but I thought there's just so much content. Guys, every single week, I'll be coming out with a video throughout the season. Weekly dose of fantasy football, where we'll be talking about the top happenings in fantasy football. I'll be giving you guys my advice. We'll be looking over some things, some interesting stuff that I found intriguing. Let's get right into it with some follower hot takes. This is from Instagram. Clyde Edwards-Helaire hits last year's projections, is a top 5 RB. Top 5 is a little much for me with all the elite running backs there are right now in fantasy football going in early round 1. But I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a fine pick if he's your RB2 or if you're picking him as your first running back in round 2. That Chiefs offense, it's very explosive. They're going to be in the red zone a lot. I understand they didn't give him many touches in the red zone, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire was just getting going last year before Le'Veon Bell came in and kind of muddled the waters. I think he's a fine pick in round 2 in an offense that's going to score a lot. He's a decent pass catcher, a decent PPR there. Not a bad pick. I don't know about a top 5 running back. That's a little bold. Darrell Henderson breaks out as the Rams lead back and is a top 15 running back. I could see it. I could see that happening. Deandre Swift makes the jump to stardom and is a top 5 fantasy running back. I don't see that happening at all. Although Deandre Swift, great in PPR. I think he's going to be really good PPR. I am not really concerned about Jamal Williams. It could be kind of annoying, but Deandre Swift, you got to think about a team like the Detroit Lions. They're going to be losing. They're going to be losing a lot of games. They're going to be down in a lot of games. You're going to see Jared Goff dump off to Deandre Swift a lot. A lot of garbage time points for Deandre Swift. Antonio Gibson finishes higher than Ezekiel Elliott in fantasy. No. That is not happening. I say it every fantasy video I do. Antonio Gibson will 100% be a bust. Ladies and gentlemen, please, for the love of God, do not draft Antonio Gibson. He's this year's Kenyon Drake. Please. Devonta Smith produces from the jump and is a top 24 fantasy wide receiver. I love Devonta Smith. My only question with him is, who's throwing him the football? Jalen Hurts, a little bit of a question mark there. The quarterback situation isn't the best. But Devonta Smith is a beast, dude. I've never seen a receiver in college football literally just take over the sport like Devonta Smith did. He's a fine late round pick. Stash him on your bench. The only question mark with him, he did have a little bit of an injury, but I think he's fine. The only real question mark, the quarterback situation. Can Jalen Hurts facilitate Devonta Smith to be a top wide receiver in fantasy? That's the only question. This is a mock draft, half-point PPR, round 1. McCaffrey, Cook, Henry going 3rd overall in front of Kamara, a little interesting there. How about Jonathan Taylor going in front of Zeke? Nick Chubb going pretty high. I don't know if I'd take Nick Chubb that high with Kareem Hunt, in that backfield. Tyreek Hill, Diggs. Wow, there's no Devontae Adams in the first round. Dude, I would take Devontae Adams over Diggs any day of the week. Not that I don't like Stephon Diggs. He's a beast. I'm just concerned about Josh Allen possibly not replicating he had the year last year. Saquon Barkley, that's phenomenal value. A lot of people seem to be down on Saquon Barkley. Obviously, him being the fourth or fifth overall player right now ranked. I think on ESPN he was the 3rd. That's a high price to pay for Saquon, who's been injured a lot of the past few years, had the ACL. But guys, he is the clear number 1 clear-cut back in the Giants offense. As long as he's healthy with the pass catching ability, even in a half-point PPR league, I have no problems drafting Saquon for the 5th at all. Aaron Jones, I don't think Aaron Jones is going to be that good this year with A.J. Dillon back there. I know he got the big contract. I understand. I'm staying away from Aaron Jones this year. And then Travis Kelce, I guess decent value. It's tough to draft a tight end in the first round of a 12-team league, but that is decent value there. More follower hot takes. Saquon Barkley disappoints and does not finish as a top 10 running back. The only way Saquon doesn't finish as a top 10 running back is if he misses games due to injury, meaning he misses 4 or 5 games. If he plays 15, 16 games, he's a lock, guys. Saquon Barkley, I believe, is the most talented running back in the NFL. And also his pass catching ability. Daniel Jones, someone he's going to be dumping it off a lot. Saquon, PPR machine, absolute PPR machine. The only reason that happened, the only reason he wouldn't finish top 10 is if an injury happens. John Brown proves to be a major steal and ends up as a top 25 wide receiver. How about John Brown? I like that take. I haven't heard much on John Brown recently. He's with the Raiders now. That's interesting. CeeDee Lamb enjoys a breakout campaign as a top 5 fantasy wide receiver. I love CeeDee Lamb. If you're drafting Amari Cooper over CeeDee Lamb, you have major problems. CeeDee Lamb, better year than Amari Cooper. You heard it here first. Easily, guys. Easily. Alvin Kamara is underwhelming and does not finish as a top 7 running back. That definitely is a bold take. It definitely, again, if you're playing full PPR, I'd be shocked if Kamara didn't finish as the top 7 running back. He just catches so many passes. Jalen Hurts utilizes dual threat abilities and is a top 5 fantasy QB. I could go top 10 maybe. That's a bold prediction, but guys, we've seen quarterbacks kind of burst onto the scene and have really good years. We saw it last year with Herbert. How about Desean Watson's rookie year before he got injured? He had 19 touchdowns in like 7 games. So yeah, that's a hot take, but I like that take. Jalen Hurts, if you need a quarterback late, guys, I always say don't draft quarterbacks early. First 5 or 6 rounds, you want to be gathering assets. You want to be taking running backs, building your depth. Take the quarterbacks late. Jalen Hurts could be a sneaky guy to grab late. It is a risk. Don't get me wrong, it is a risk. By week 4, week 5, Jalen Hurts with that running ability, you get those 6 points per rushing touchdown. Maybe he gets a few rushing touchdowns, a lot of rushing yards. It could be interesting. So these are some PPR fantasy football rankings for 2021. You've got Devonta number 1, Tyreek Hill, who was ahead of Devonta for a little while because we didn't know what was going on with Aaron Rodgers, number 2. I love Calvin Ridley personally. Amari Cooper being 6th is really tough to stomach for me. How is Amari Cooper 6th and CeeDee Lamb is 16th? How is Julio in front of A.J. Brown? Who made this list? Oh my God, some of these rankings. Allen Robinson in front of DK Metcalf. Amari Cooper is in front of Justin Jefferson. What? You're trolling me. You're trolling me. Where's Jamar Chase? Guys, I love Jamar Chase. I'm not seeing Jamar Chase. Tyler Lockett. You want to know a guy I never draft? Tyler Lockett. I'll never draft him. Odell. I think Odell's an interesting guy. He could be a boom or bust, no doubt. But you have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, but no Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase will be the number 1 scoring wide receiver from that Bengals offense. You heard it here first, guys. Bold hot take right there. Jamar Chase over both T. Higgins. Everyone loves T. Higgins. Why does everyone love T. Higgins? He's a good receiver. He's a solid number 2 wide receiver. He's not elite at anything, guys. He's not. Okay, Jamar Chase is going to be, he's basically an upgraded version of Justin Jefferson. I love Jamar Chase. 5th, 6th round, easily. Oh my goodness, give me Jamar Chase in the flex. Even as a wide receiver 2, give me him. So here are some dynasty trade targets to buy low or sell high on. You've got Matt Stafford, obviously with Sean McVay now. First time he's had a legit QB guru. Should be really interesting. I think Matt Stafford's in for a very good year. Again, if you're someone like me who likes to hold off on drafting quarterbacks until they absolutely have to later in the draft, Matt Stafford's definitely a guy that's come up a lot to where I've been able to draft him along with a guy like Jalen Hurts. There's a lot more of a risk with Jalen Hurts than Matt Stafford, though. Tyler Boyd, I'm not seeing that. I think Jamar Chase is just better, and T. Higgins is probably better as well. Terry McLaurin, I think he's going to have a fine year with Ryan Fitzpatrick. We've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick be able to facilitate wide receivers. So I think McLaurin will be good as long as Fitzpatrick is the quarterback. Sell high, Cam Newton. I mean, I don't know who's buying Cam Newton for a lot right now. Mac Jones, is right there. I don't know, what is Cam Newton's value at this point? I don't think it's very high. Sell high, Aaron Jones. Oh, I 100% agree. If you are in a dynasty league, this is so smart. You want to be trading Aaron Jones. Guys, if you don't know, this is Aaron Rodgers' last year with the Green Bay Packers. Basically what happened, the Packers said, look, you're under contract for 2 years. We'll make a deal with you. Play this year with us. We'll find a trade partner. We will trade you. This is your last year. We just want one more year, and then we'll trade you. The point is Aaron Rodgers is gone after this year. A lot of question marks with that Green Bay offense after this year. I would be trading away Aaron Jones. I love that take. And then Tyler Lockett. Guys, the deal with Tyler Lockett. 1 week he'll put up 60 points. The next 6 weeks combined he'll put up 60 points. He is a brutal fantasy player. Do not draft Tyler Lockett. I have never drafted Tyler Lockett at any mock draft or any regular fantasy draft. I've never drafted Mike Evans in any mock draft or regular draft. I refuse to draft those guys personally. Mock Draft Monday, this is a team that I'm going to grade. ESPN 12 team 3rd pick. Is this PPR? You got to put if it's PPR or not. Jalen Hurts at the quarterback. So they went Kamara 3rd overall. Deandre Swift, that's a little bit of a risk. I like Chris Godwin a lot. I love DJ Moore. Darren Waller, good pick. Mike Davis, a little weak with the flex position, but you went Darren Waller, you went the elite tight end, and then you had to take Mike Davis. I understand. The bench, Curtis Samuel. I don't love Curtis this year, personally. Antonio Brown, not bad value. Zach Moss, Stafford is there. Yeah, because the thing is, I like that. Double up on the quarterbacks late. You got Jalen Hurts, and you get Stafford. Gus Edwards, if, an injury happens to J.K. Dobbins. Russell Gage, we'll see. Obviously, with Julio not there anymore, maybe an uptick in targets. And then how about Desean Watson? I love that pick. But rostering 3 quarterbacks is a little tough. But no, I like that pick. So he picked Darren Waller early 3rd round. Wow, okay. So that's a decent team. I think that team hinges on if Jalen Hurts is a success, but more importantly, Deandre Swift. I really think it hinges on Deandre Swift. And to me, the receiving core is a little weak, honestly. I mean, there's not one really elite receiver there. Fantasy football by category. So the safest pick, Derrick Henry. Obviously, due to the last 2 years, I don't know how anyone can argue that. Although I will say a little bit of caution with Derrick Henry. He has been run into the ground the past 2 years. The Titans, they gave him that big contract, so I would expect more workload, but I don't know, man. I'm not saying he's going to get injured. I don't want him to get injured. A little bit of caution with him. He has been getting tons of carries. Riskiest first-round pick, Saquon. I would probably have to agree with that. Polarizing pick, Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon will have a good year. I think Miles Sanders is more of a polarizing pick. Or Antonio Gibson, guys. I'd say Antonio Gibson is a bust. I'm sorry. This year's Kenyon Drake. You heard it here first. Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, he's the clear number 1 pick. PPR monster. Normally it would be Michael Thomas, right? But, obviously we know what happened with him. The guy no one wants to draft, Evan Ingram. I mean, there's probably a lot of tight ends. You could say that. Biggest sleeper, Laviska Shenault. I don't know if he's a sleeper. Position value pick. If Travis Kelce is going 4th overall, I don't see how there's value there. Late round troll pick, Tim Tebow. Best stack, Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. I think the best stack would be Mahomes and Kelce over Hill, but I don't know, either one. Drafted outside the 1st round, but will finish 1st overall. Eckler. He has the potential, but normally he's going like 10th or 11th in 12th team. That's 1st round. Potential league winner, that could be a number of guys. I mean, I think Waller's good, but that could be a number of guys. All right, guys, I'm going to be grading a couple of these teams. This dude says, hands down, just drafted my best fantasy team today in a 10-team PPR league. And if you want a perfect example of what not to do, this is a 10-team league. He's starting Myles Gaskin at his flex. Mike Evans, don't like that pick. David Montgomery, don't like that pick. Did he pick Montgomery in the 3rd round, I guess? Yeah, because he picked Calvin Ridley in the 2nd. Guys, I do not like this team at all. This is a 10-team league. This is your team. You're starting Myles Gaskin in the flex in a 10-team league, brother. Come on. I don't like Mike Evans. I don't like David Montgomery. Kamara, you can't argue with it. Tannehill's a good quarterback, no doubt. But again, if you're in a 10-team league, there's a lot of quarterbacks available, so I do not like that team at all. All right, fantasy football nerds, rate my fantasy team. By the way, this is a 12-team PPR league. So looking at this team, keeping in mind it's a 12-team league, guys. Perfect example. You're going to want to draft running backs early. You can see his 1st and 2nd round picks, Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf. That's a great wide receiver tandem. Look at the running backs. Heavy risk with Miles Sanders and then Mostert. I hope he has Trey Sherman stashed on his bench. I hope he does. He picked Kyler Murray probably in the 5th round. Too early for a quarterback. Lance Thomas, whatever. Brandon Ayuk, that's a weak flex. Or not a weak flex, but guys, I don't know. This is just, you want to draft a running back round 1 or round 2. I understand he probably had a late pick in the 1st round, early pick in round 2. I like the DK Metcalf pick. The Diggs pick is fine. But this is just one of the, now you have Mostert, who's probably going to get overrun by Trey Sherman, the rookie, or at best case he's in a committee. Miles Sanders is a risk. I don't know, guys. Like, who's your other running backs? Your flex is another receiver. There's just no depth to that team. That's why you always want to be taking a running back early. You want to get one of those stud running backs if you can. Jamal Williams. Anyone else think we're sleeping on Jamal Williams a bit? No. Is taking your first running back in round 4 or later a viable strategy? If you pick late first, then your best bet might be a Kelce and a top wide receiver pair in the 1st and 2nd round, and then your 3rd round pick could be Mahomes. Now, you're not. Who is drafting a quarterback in round 3? Okay, now you should not do that. My only concern is that doing this completely hobbles you at running back. With this strategy, you'd be best at getting a running back core of Henderson, Hunt, Davis, and Sherman. Yeah, you need to grab a receiver early, but my bigger concern with this dude, he's talking about drafting Patrick Mahomes in the 3rd round. Oh my God. People, we're not taking quarterbacks early, guys. Build depth at other positions. Build that running back depth up. Rounds 5, round 6, round 7. You're not taking a quarterback round 3. You're not taking a quarterback round 4. You're not taking a quarterback round 5, folks. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? That's going to do it for this video. The first rendition of your weekly dose of fantasy football, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I am, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.